What's the green ribbon for?
Yeah, so it's our mental health awareness game. So you'll see a lot of different things from what our coaches are wearing to the green ribbon, just to continue to really spotlight that. And we talk to our players a lot about it. We got a lot of great resources for them, but just the mental health of our athletes, the mental health of all people matters to us. And so we want to do our best to show that on live television. Yes, we're playing a football game, but want to highlight mental health and what we're doing as a university to really promote the awareness of it, so people can be open to have conversation with people, especially as young men. I talk with our team. If I go ask them, how you doing? What do you guys think they're probably going to say? Good. I'm good. I'm good. Even if everything in their life says I'm not good. So trying to make sure we open those doors for our players. I know that's what our university is trying to put out. So mental health awareness game for us. Guys have had a really good week of practice, transition to the game. Like, I'm proud of them. So much of what we put a paramount on is practice performance, and that will turn into game reality on Saturday night. And our guys done a good job. We still got to clean it up. Had a good practice today. Got to clean it up tomorrow, and that will be the same process for us all the way till kickoff. But I'm proud of how our guys continue to learn and grow from the first 3 games, and we know we got to be our best on Saturday. But that's who we are. And like I talked about even a couple weeks ago, is I know our best is enough, but it's required of our players and it's required of our coaches. And that's our focus, not only in how we prep, but how we do everything. So proud of where we're at. We got to keep pushing. And can't wait for Saturday night in the blue. We know Wazoo, they know us. We know they're going to play their best football on Saturday, and we will too. And I cannot wait to go back on the blue in front of Bronco Nation. I know it's going to be a sold-out crowd, and Bronco Nation is going to be in the game, not just at the game, and that's a huge deal.
Spencer, everybody on the outside is talking about noise. I'm guessing on the inside of what we got going on over here, nobody's talking about the noise. How do you process that?
Yeah, it's so much of my job is messaging, right? So much of my job for our players, the 115 young men, and our staff is messaging. Like, I focus a ton on that. So what are our players being told from us? But not just what I'm telling them or what our coaches are saying, which I believe is a force multiplier. Is what are they hearing, right? From the media, from parents, from outside noise, and making sure that instead of just, oh, it doesn't matter, it does, because they're hearing it. And so no different, like we talked about on Monday, our first team meeting. Top 25, huge game on the blue, blah, 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 blah. It doesn't matter. And I brought up Maddox Madsen just because he was sitting in the front row and started just hitting, hey, Maddox, top 25, awesome, man. Oh, you guys are playing so good. And I just kept hitting his shoulder, and I said, what am I doing? All these pats on the back, you know what it's doing? It's knocking the chip off your shoulder. And that's my biggest thing for our team is yes, it's out there, and there's a lot, and everything in life is earned, no different than this game. But it's what really matters. Outside noise and all this doesn't move the needle. Right now, we play 3 games. We want to be ranked in these things at the end of the season, no different than Washington State. They're undefeated for a reason. So there's good things going on. Sometimes there's not. It's all about the messaging that, hey, this is happening. This is our message. And for me, it's all about where we learn, where we grow into, because that's what moves the needle across all facets, Mike. You know what I mean? Nothing's going to be taken for granted in regards to what we're hearing, but it's all about messaging.
Not to ask you an injury question, but obviously we know what Cam can do. Not sure about Latrell. Who else in the receiver group do you really need to start stepping up a little bit?
Yeah, we need all of them to step up. We talked about even after the Oregon game. Like, I'm excited for those guys to see who can consistently win on one-on-one. Prince Strong had a really good week of practice. Austin Bolt had a really good week of practice. Those 2 guys in particular, excited to step up. Chase Penry, Cam Bates also had good weeks. And Ben Ford is a guy that is Mr. Reliable, does a ton for us on offense, and I'm excited for him to have a bigger role in special teams too. So I know there's a lot of guys I just threw at you, BJ, but we need all those guys to step up. We're in and out of a lot of different personnels, and when someone's banged up, other guys got to carry the flag.
What excites you about Maddox Madsen and his opportunity versus his defense?
Yeah, I'm just excited for Maddox Madsen to continue to grow from week 3 to week 4. No different than our whole team, Johnny. Like, he's continually gotten better from Georgia Southern to Oregon to Portland State, and he's had a great week of prep because that's who he is. He's a competitor. He's done a phenomenal job in practice in regards to leading our offense, being efficient, knowing what the game plan is. How are we going to attack their defense? How are we going to be attacked? And I believe he's going to play his best game so far on Saturday night.
We've seen a coach in this conference, or a team in this conference, lose their starting quarterback because of NIL in the middle of the season. How are you dealing with NIL? Yeah. And are there any? We saw Mike Gundy say, "Hey, we're not talking during the season about that. That's an off-season type thing." How do you deal with all that? And how crazy is that to see something like that happen?
Yeah, obviously it was national news yesterday with some of the stuff, and on purpose I try and stay away from social media as much as I can when we're going through the workday. But it's out there. Our players, same thing like Mike, you brought up outside noise. We see it. for me, with all the space, because get asked about transfer portal, NIL, collectives, all these Pac-12, I don't control any of that. What I do control is our team and our messaging and making sure we're developing our players. For me, I believe in being very proactive. What I mean by that is and I tell our guys, I love you because I'm always going to tell you the truth. So when we recruit players, I'm very upfront about this is us, this is how we do things, and it is my job to make sure that I follow through on those things. Whatever those might be, from playing time to jersey numbers to all these different things. And so that's been my approach is this is us, this is what it is. NIL collective space, hey, we've got a lot of resources. These are the guys that you can be in contact for that. This is who we are as a team. This is what I am counting on you doing if you come here. And then no different for our players that have been on the team. Guys, this is our standard. Everything here is laid out. This is us. I don't hold any cards. There's no smoke and mirrors going on. They know that. The locker room knows that. And so that's been my message is this is us in all spaces, from playing time to jersey numbers to where guys' lockers are to the money they're making. Like, it is very laid out, very open, because this is our team. And I think that's why we're able to keep our players intact in what it is, because they know what it is. I'm not saying it's perfect. It's just this is us. And it's not going to fit for everybody. And that's why when we talk about being built different, this isn't going to be a place that fits every recruit. This isn't going to be a place that fits every. That's okay. There's a lot of places to play college football. I know what we look for here and what we want to recruit and the guys we want. You got to be different and want to be a part of this. Want to be a part of this team. Want to be a part of this family. Because if it's not, it's going to be hard to fit here. And that's okay. Once again, doesn't make you a bad person or a bad player. It doesn't fit what we're about. So it was interesting news. I mean, obviously you could take it a bunch of different ways. I have no idea what happened. Nobody really does. I know Barry Odom's a phenomenal coach. He does a great job. So whatever happened, I think the world of Barry Odom and his staff and how they've handled things. But I have no idea the inner workings of why that came about after a bye week I think they had and right prior to playing Fresno State. So I can't really speak to that issue, BJ, but I just know our heart with our team in all facets, NIL, collective, all things is this is us. This is what I told you at the start of January. This is what I told you if you're a new player. This is what I told you if you're a returner. This is us from top to bottom. We're not holding any cards. So then I can be real with them and tell them the truth about where they are and how we can develop.
Spencer, you might not care about cool matchups necessarily, but you look at these two programs that are going to play on Saturday night. As college football tries to be torn apart from what we once knew it as with transfer portal and NIL and realignment, like these are kind of the stitches trying to hold this thing together still. So in terms of two programs just kind of fighting like hell to make a college football playoff or whatnot, with two Heisman candidates, like sold out crowd, how special do you think this game should be or can be, and do you think it should have more of a national spotlight? Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be the biggest game of our season, Jake. It's the next one like that. But at the end of the day, it's going to be a phenomenal environment here on the Blue. Like I said before, think the world of Washington State staff, think the world of their players, and we know their quarterback number 10 is one of the best players in the country as well. It's going to be a big time matchup, and for Bronco Nation, for college football fans in general, it's a game they're going to want to watch because they're going to be two really well coached teams that are ready to compete against each other, and especially where college football is going from realignment in time, we probably will be playing them a lot more. And it's a great game to keep playing. We haven't played them, I think, since 2017. We played them up in Pullman. But these are the games what makes you love about college football. You got a night game on the Blue, two good teams, one's undefeated, one's 2-1, going at it. I mean, this is what you love about college football. So at the end of the day, who should be watching? I think if you're a college football fan in general, you're going to see some really good players. You're going to see two teams competing and two teams that are there because they love their teammates and they want to go compete their tail off to win. Knowing that down the road, college football playoff implications, yeah, they're going to have a part of this game. But this game, Saturday night, it's about, right now, Washington State, and for them, it's about coming to play Boise. So it's a game that I'm fired up for the fans to watch, and I know our team's going to be ready, and I know they will be too.